Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. Somebody sent me this image, and they did tell me they're going to engrave it, so they just want the black part. This is I don't know the right terminology. I'm going to call it a religious fish. And I've done videos on this exact same item, but through the years, I've probably done them different ways than I'm going to do this one because this one's got thin tails. I'm going to go to the 3-point curve line. I'm going to draw a line, and then holding down the control button, I'm going to get an arch. Okay? I don't know if it's about the same. Well, it's pretty close. Then I'm going to get the artistic media tool, and I'm going to pick one that has a tail. Doesn't really matter if it's round or not. That looks pretty good. Then you can always change your thickness of it. Let's increase it just a little bit in thickness. Now, whenever you work with the artistic media tool, the main thing I like to do, and I think you need to do it, is go up to object and break it apart, because there is that hidden line. It's hidden now. If you right click on it, there's your original line. Now you can left click, right click, and Control D to make a duplicate and mirror it. Look at that. We're pretty close. I think the arch is a little bit bigger on there, so I'm going to move it down a little bit, holding down the control button. That didn't really change anything. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit P on the keyboard and just see how close we're equally. I'm going to Control G, Control D to duplicate it, and then I'm going to mirror it. So we're dead on as far as what we need to do. Now, I'm not sure the weld tool will not work anyway, but we need to go and ungroup this and see if we can weld it. And it did and it didn't. We don't really want to weld there. So what I'm going to do, instead of welding, I'm going to take the virtual segment delete key and just delete these interior lines. And this possibly would weld now, but I don't think it will, and it won't. So just do the same thing on the other part. Especially if you're a laser engraver, you want to have this all solid. And then all you do is take the Smart Fill tool, and because they're a laser engraver, we want to use black and RGB. Fill that in. Now, move your Smart Fill away and delete this. This way you have no outline. It won't cut. There's no vector, in case you left some vector lines. And I think we're pretty close. They're a little bit, I've got a little bit sharper of a point, but that could be the curvature. So practice on your curvature. Maybe, pick your 3-point line and draw a line, and maybe if you hold down the control button, it'll be equal. So maybe they put a little bit more arch, or whoever drew it or whatever they used. Artistic media tool, we'll use that same one. And sometimes it looks like it doesn't do it, but then you hit the key and it does. And I went the other direction, but that doesn't really matter, because once we go break it apart, get rid of that line, now we can mirror it the other way, and then go ahead and left click, right click, and do the same thing, Control D, and mirror it. Whoop, mirrored it the wrong way. You want to mirror it up and down. And so now, maybe not so much, but you could, what I would do is set my nudge factor on something lower, like 0.01, and grab one of them and go straight down. That way, if you hold down the shift key, it'll go faster. Your tail's not as big now, but just play around with it. And you could, I said earlier, you shouldn't use the weld tool, but you can. You're just gonna have to put those parts back or cut them. And sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. I'm gonna actually use the 3-point curve line and just, whoop. I I could have probably used the parallel dimension to, or just a 2-point line. And then you could delete, and you don't even have to delete this, then you're going to smart fill it. And because we welded, we don't have to do it to the tail. And then take your black. And, the only reason I like doing it the first way is because the nose of the fish is going to be perfect. And even though I did a pretty good job, it could be a little bit off. You've got some nodes you don't need. You could actually take away the nodes and make it more perfect. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. Thank you for watching.